He should have.
Oh, hot seat.
This is known as the Einasleigh River. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? Area, how much rain falls in this area, part of the country, the wet seasons, during the dry seasons, you can run your way all the way to the mountains. You can see how those trees have been pushed over right to left because of the flow of the river during the wet season. This river here is flooding. Yep, that's fine. Put my glasses on. Make me look cooler.
Ma worked in the adult film industry for quite some time, so pretty used to it now, aren't you?
Yeah.
Have come off.
Okay, so Rob's just asked me a question about the Railmotors. So we're basically in 2000 class Railmotors, and the first unit that we're travelling up the front here. This is 26. So this particular unit was built 1963, and then the rear unit, which is 2053, that was built in 1971. It's a great year, 71 actually, especially October, October the 5th, was a great month in that year in particular. But we also have another Railmotor, which is currently, we're just getting the final drive fixed in the other Railmotor. It's called 2028. It's pretty much the same as the leading unit that we're in here, 2026, built in the same year in 63. But that's currently sitting in the workshop at Mount Surprise. We're actually just, we don't really need all 6 gears. We're only ranging speeds from on average 20 kilometres an hour up to about 40 kilometres an hour. This particular section of rail from Mount Surprise out to Forsayth. It only has speed limit boards up to 30 kilometres an hour, so you don't need to go any faster using the fifth and sixth gear. So it's sort of been hobbled, you could say. So the last two gears, they've taken them out, they don't really need them. They sort of shut it down, so to speak. So we're only using the full gears at any stage. The rail, it's basically a 40 pound or 41 and a quarter pound per yard line. So it's like if you can imagine bits of steel spaghetti. So it's fairly thin, but it was all due to sort of cost cutting back in the day. And you'll also notice that
this guy really has no clue, he's in everybody's pictures.
Warm up a bit, also coming out to try and find a girlfriend. It's breeding season at the moment, but usually when they're hunting, it's night time. Things like eastern browns and king browns and taipans and those kind of snakes, they come out during the day.
There's six bees out to the right hand side out here.
Yeah, 1 o'clock.
I'm just going to be mindful of our time. We have to get to the Mount Surprise railway platform. To get you guys off the train, onto buses, and then some of you are going down to Undara to do the Undara lava tubes. So we're just going to cruise nice and easy past the EVs here. Not sure at this stage, just judging on the size, which ones are the actual adults and which ones are the kids. It's generally the males that will actually look after the chicks. Some of the crocodiles, freshwater freshies, sort of sunning themselves on the rocks. So keep a good look out for those close.
Put a video up on Mel's that one we got yesterday afternoon.
Oh yeah, that was a video. So yeah, yesterday afternoon when we came back, just the two of us, me and Will, sort of took out the sweet time coming across, and there was one, maybe 2 feet away from the train. So let's hope to see something. And you know, I was talking about the wall, the lava, solidified lava. It's just up there on the left hand side. That's what you got to imagine 190,000 years ago, that lava flow. Just sort of made its way all the way up that one along the back, eh? Okay, alright. I see. Okay, alright. Now we've got freshwater crocodile on the rock. So home at 12 o'clock, that crocodile would be at 1 o'clock, maybe 2.
Can you see it?
Okay, so just going to slowly creep up on it. Can you see it? Okay, Now, in the river, you will see there's a couple of branches, right? And so look for the branches. It's just to the right. Like that. I'm just going to creep up. Just so sorry. He's looking right at it. About 10 feet away. 10 feet away you see some branches.
There's two, there's another one.
Alright, there's another one from the other side. That list will be your name, so you'll know which resort or which holiday park you're going to be staying in. We're going to be talking to you about what's going to happen from there. They're going to take you, they're going to take your luggage, they're going to take you away to do tours to Kuranda.
Yeah, it does look like a billabong. For the first part of the year, it's home to a lot of bird life. And as it starts to dry up, we do start getting a lot of pigs. Pigs move into the area, rooting around, looking for lily bulbs, crustaceans. But one of the coolest animals I saw here a few years ago was the biggest black-headed python I've ever come across. He was just sprawled out on the track. They managed to stop the train, got him, took some photos, and we let him go. I haven't seen him since, until Mark came through here on Thursday, slither into the car wreck. So once we get over Bicycle Creek, I'm just going to approach that car wreck as quietly as I can, just to see if by chance we might get a glimpse of him out next to it. If he is there, might be able to get out and get him and we can have a bit of a better look. He should be a lot bigger than my fella that we got in the back of the train there. So this is Bicycle Creek. Now we don't know why it's called Bicycle Creek, but a few years ago the boss was on board with us and we found a bike that had been stolen and trashed and it was thrown in the rail corridor and we had to pull up and get it out of the road, and the boss said chuck it on board and we'll take it out to Bicycle Creek, we'll hang it on a fence. Give Bicycle Creek a reason for the name. So the bike is over on the fence there, over on the left hand side. I'm just going to take a photo, Mark.
Yeah. The one that looks closed. Underneath there, just at the bottom, there's a big hole and there's snake skins there.
How did they find that framed up?
Hey?
How did they get that car smashed up like that?
They let you take them for a drive.
You call it a bush
And Lee says to me, he says, Will, we're going to have to get the black-headed python out. You know, we haven't had any snakes. They need that bloody shot. They really want it. I said, yeah, righto. He said, so look, I'm going to leave it up to you. He said, I'll drive the train. I'll be on the microphone. He said, I'll put the brakes on and I'm just going to say, like, Will, snake, snake, snake. Yeah.
go. Waving away the two.
Got the old Lapper station here to a passenger that we had on a few weeks ago named Glennis, who was very keen to get her boobs out the window. Yeah, I've never seen it, I've never had it before, and then all of a sudden Glennis turns up and every single person who was standing next to the line waving, she'd flash them. Boobs straight out.
Don't you get any idea?
Yeah. Expected to come up the next week and he'd have a sign that says marry me or something like that, but yeah.
And I'm ready to succeed TA0197 over.
Hey, Roger there. Benko, when you're ready to confirm.
Please code is
You're a Kiwi.
So we're coming down this side of the Lapper range now. A lot of really nice views out on the left. Dark bark and they've got silvery leaves. You see those little round balls in the tree? They got, yeah. Or if you had a container of water, you could dunk them in the water and you could make like a cordial drink out of it. But you'll notice a lot of Australian native trees have that same colour flower, you know, that really pale yellow, like wattles, eucalyptus, villiers, hakeas, a lot of them do. There is a reason for that. You might remember I said back in the night zoo story that the reason we're showing people animals at night is because just over 70% of Australian wildlife is nocturnal. This is Knight's Cutting in front of us. We don't know why it's named Knight's Cutting. We assume it was named after a bloke who had the last name Knight. What we know about it is that this was going to be the only tunnel on the whole line. We kind of guess that maybe a fella by the name of Knight said that, hey look, if you do this and you blow that away and chip a bit of that, you could turn it into a cutting instead of a tunnel, save yourselves a hell of a lot of money. That's what we've assumed over the years. Don't know whether it's true or not, but it's just strange to have a cutting named.
Do they still live there?
What's that? Yeah, they still live there. Yeah, they just maintain it, just keep it like that. They don't seem to have any plans to knock it down and build a new house or anything. They like it. Just up here on the left, we've got the Petford train station. It's not even a joke. And it's a legitimate station. Like Ma and I, technically, we've got to slow down and look in there to see if anyone's waiting to catch the train. And no, not today. Look at that, eh?